Northeast Mississippi Scouting Report. I'm Brad Locke, Assistant Sports Editor for the Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal. We're 2 weeks now into the high school football season, and some teams are doing well, others not so well. One of the teams that is doing well is the Pontotoc Warriors, 2-0, coming off a 1-9 season, 0-10 the year before that. Pontotoc has a new coach, Charlie Dampier. He's had success in many other schools, including Saltillo and Tishomingo. Coach, appreciate you joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Just talk about that 2-0 start now, Coach. You've beaten South Pontotoc, and then this last week you held off Aberdeen 13-12. How's the confidence level among these guys now?
Well, it's something we needed to do. We obviously need to win early, and we talked to our kids about it, and we knew if we could get off to a good start, it would build confidence. And we won fairly easily the first week. Then we got in a game Friday night that was to the wire, and like I said in the newspaper, we made one more play than they did. They were a quality team. It ran well, and it was a back and forth ball game all night. And I was proud of our kids to win at the end of the ball game.
Yeah, it was a tough win there. Had to hold off a 2-point conversion. Who was it that made that big tackle there at the end?
Frankie McGaw, a kid that plays defensive end for us, so made a great big play. And we told our kids you have to make one play, you know, and this is the ball game. And we actually played well defensively early in the game. We gave up some yardage, but we weren't letting them in the end zone, and they hit us twice in the ball game. But the big play saved it for us, and our kids needed that. That's a confidence booster in itself to win a close ball game, but you know the way it happened. So.
Let's talk about some other players. Your quarterback, Andrew Yeoman, is a senior. I believe in each of the previous 3 seasons he started at some point, but he's never started a full season, has he?
He has started, this is his 4th season to start at some point in the season. And this is his 3rd coaching change he's been through. It's just tough on a quarterback. You know, quarterback's just a different position. I've always said when the game of football was invented, the quarterback position was made too important. You know, yeah. It's just a tough position to play. They get all the blame, they get a lot of the credit. You know, yeah. But he's done well, and we're not throwing a lot of stuff at him, but yeah. He has to handle what we are throwing at him. You know, so he's staying composed and doing what we're asking him to do.
Well, you got a good running game to lean on. Chris Ware is your feature back, and you're expecting a lot from him this year. What have you gotten from him so far?
Chris Ware's our go-to guy. I mean, he's a strong kid. You know, he can carry the ball 25 times a ball game, 28 times a ball game, and it may become more than that before it's over. He's a kid that we kind of hang our hat on. You know, he's an up the field runner, a square shouldered runner, and we've worked at him trying to get better at that. You know, he wants sometimes to be an elusive kid, and he's really not. So what you got to do. I tell him all the time, you got to be what you are, you know, and so, but he's a kid we're going to give the ball to. We're not fooling anybody. We're not trying to fool anybody. We're fixing to give it to him and let him try to run at you with it.
Well, those 2 guys have been with the program a while. Some other players you managed to bring out this year that haven't been in the program or were in the past, and now you brought them back. One of them, the kid we talked about, Corey Cruz, plays on defense. So what have he and some other guys contributed so far?
He's an example of a kid we've gotten out that had to be involved, you know, and he's athletic, he has some football savvy, and he plays defense, doesn't play any offense. As a matter of fact, we're playing one kid on both sides of the ball now, so we're pretty lucky there. And then there's some sophomores that have stepped up for us. An offensive lineman is better than we thought he was going to be at this time. You know, I told him the other day he can't drive a car yet, but he's a pretty good offensive lineman, you know. So we've had some kids that were not involved that are out there now, and then some kids that have gotten better each day and each week and that are helping us. So we're far beyond being a real good football team right now, but we think we can play with most people on Friday nights.
Well, you got another test this week. Ripley comes to town, ranked number 4 in the Daily Journal small school rankings. Tell me a little bit about that matchup and the test.
Yeah, I mean, it's Coach McCurry does a good job over those kids, and what makes them a little different, they're a little unorthodox from what you see every week. They're double wing T on offense, and it's just something that's kind of like over-ear football used to be. You know, all of a sudden we've been playing Aberdeen last week. We played empty set on this part of the ball game. Now all of a sudden we go to 2 tight double wing. Yeah. It's just a totally different ball game, and you have 3.5 days to get ready for it, you know. And they run it well. They're well schooled on defense, and but that's the way it's supposed to be. It's a non-division game. We play the game to get better, you know, and so win, lose, or draw, we need to get better during this ball game. And that's what we tell our players. And obviously, we do want to win, and so do they. But the ultimate goal is to get better for the next week.
And the next week after Ripley is Tisch County. I know you don't want to look ahead to that one, but that's the team Coach Dampier took to the playoffs the last 2 seasons. But,
Right.
Try to push that to the back of your mind for now.
Well, yeah, and I can do that. I can separate those things, you know. That will obviously be a big ball game for a couple reasons. Obviously, because I've been there and I've coached all these kids. And the second reason is, and more importantly, it's the first division game.
Yeah.
And the winner of that game will take a big step in toward the playoffs. And I know it's early, but that's the way you have to look at it, you know. And so that game will generate a little bit of excitement, I promise you. And but this week, this is the week we got to focus on. But then that one will be here soon enough.
Right. Okay. Well, Coach, appreciate you taking time with us. Coach
Thank you,
Dampier, Pontotoc Warriors play host to Ripley this weekend. A lot of games on tap this weekend. We'll bring you all the action in Saturday's Daily Journal, and you can join Gene Phelps and myself after all the action for Northeast Mississippi Rewind. Thanks for joining us.